Okay, check, check, check. It's me. Hey everybody. Hi Sunny, hi Zombuds. What do we see in there? Well, whoever I can't see, hi. You are welcome. We're just getting started. I am about to run our first top of the hour 3-minute ad break to give us an hour of playtime together. We'll try my clever best to be consistent with that at the top of every hour. Though when I do my cooking streams, we don't necessarily take the same breaks we would in other capacities because we stay right here. In any case, I need to go ahead and bump and run that 3-minute ad break, create an opportunity. I'm so fucking generous, creating an opportunity for you to take a 3-minute assessment of how you can better achieve maximum coz. And I believe in you. I know you can. I will see you soon. Hi, Grave Boo. Autumnal comfort food is imminent. See you soon. And it's gonna take me a second to correct the volume to where you can hear me. I know I'm not very loud and I can't help that. It's just how I'm made. I'm intermittently loud. We're gonna get that volume down to an agreeable level. We still want to keep those ambient tunes slapping gently on our eardrums. Just a gentle slap, not too big. We're cooking. We don't want to get too distracted. Though, by the collective resonance, the distractibly collective resonance of each one of your individual vibes, it's gonna be very hard to keep my focus. I will do my clever best. How we doing? Sonny, very good to have you around. Thank you for the mega stream since your birthday. I hope you have recovered. Did you get enough rest? I mean, following any stream even under 5 hours, it's rewarding as it can be draining, but going like as long as you did, any difference? I hope you got enough rest. Did not. It's been a while since I've done a mega stream. I'm trying to empathize as best I can, but I don't think I've even gone 12 hours. I think max I've done is like 9. We're in our 30s now. We need our sleep. We need our sleep, Bubba. We gotta get it. Also wish I could give you a cup of these, get you a cup of these birthday beans. I do have something I'm going to DM you about. I want to make sure I don't forget. I'm also, how are we liking this? I've got the camera in a new position tonight instead of like out where you can see like my whole fucking house. You get me and you get the ceiling. You can have some titty if you want, and then but mostly you get collarbone and some ceiling and some 4.5 head. From 4.5 head. I don't self-deprecate. I'm not going to say I've got a 5 head, but 4.5 head. I know what I'm working with. My dimensions are fine. These angles good. Thank you. Also, I'm going to turn this cup around. So the cup tonight, because we're staying caffeinated, fam. The cup tonight is a Pocket Monster cup. It's got some little friends on there. And hopefully none of these were on, well, one of them might have been. Any one of these on the smash or pass list? I mean, they were all on the smash or pass list, but any of them on the smash list versus pass? I'm a little ambivalent about Gengar. I'm a little ambivalent about Gengar. Ghost Pokemon, I mean, the prospect of smash is exciting, let's be honest. Gengar only, yes, okay. I wasn't around for that pick, but, you know. It's got my endorsement. That wicked grin, I mean, kind of cuddly. I feel like there would be some TLC afterwards, like knows the aftercare responsibilities associated with, you know, a proper sesh. Yeah. Y'all, I'm pretty gassed up, and I don't mean because I had too many beans. I mean, like, socially, I went out and I went to one of my very favorite things I look forward to every year is a more or less an arts festival here in Fort Worth called the Arts Goggle. It's on this Saturday every year. So just not a biannual thing, just one and done. Edge all year and then just get it all out kind of thing. It is a rapid succession of like a concentrated dose of like all things positive. Art, culture, diversity, music, and then just art of every medium. You know, sculpture to watercolor painting to clothing. It's all there. And I get to see a lot of my favorite creators like in the area. So a lot of it's local. There's not a lot of people from out of town. It's mostly local creators that get celebrated here. As opposed to, why I mentioned that, as opposed to like we do have a Main Street Arts Festival, and that is more of like a national affair where people come in from miles around. Just as big, but kind of a different focus. So I got to do that today. I got to see some of my very favorite people, a couple of my besties. I'm so proud of myself. I actually remembered to get pictures with them this time instead of like hanging out in that idea going poof. So I got some selfies. I'm gonna remember to like print these things off and put them around my desk space. I think that's gonna help. I don't know if anybody else struggles with this, but sometimes I don't mean to forget people exist, but then time passes. I mean to call them, good intentions stand by, and other events of poofing happens, and I don't end up calling the people that I do care about and want to talk to. And I think it's gonna help for me to like make some prints, have some photos up around me, you know. It's like a marketing tactic, top of mind presence, also high grave book. Tell me more, TMM, about a dough zone and why can't I live there? I think I go to the dough zone when I sleep. I think that's one of the dimensions that my consciousness is transported to any given night. Let's see. Ooh, I'm gonna turn on these. I've got an underlight here. I've got like these cute little lights under the cabinets that our contractor decided to install as like a freebie bonus to apologize for some delayed work getting done. And I love them very much. They make the kitchen look so fancy, but they also give me like a little extra light here. And y'all can now probably see this a little bit easier. Tonight on the dopamine menu is a recipe submitted to us by Strawberry Tea Honey some months ago. And one that I made before and loved very much. I intended to make again, and evidence to support my claim, we're making it again tonight. Classic baked vegan mac and cheese. Mac and Cheems. We're gonna dice up the only distinction we're gonna make in this recipe to make it our own. Per her suggestion, we're gonna dice some jalapenos and put it in there. Give a little extra fire. I'm also gonna throw down some Brussels sprouts. I've got some Brussels sprouts that we're gonna throw down with some balsamic vinegar, EVO, and a little, I think I'm gonna do like a little chili powder and give it a little spice. Maybe honey, I'm not sure, the recipe calls for honey, but I'm gonna pull an audible on that. But definitely some Parmigiano Reggiano on there, because we wanna keep that savory, sweet song going for us. I'm a big fan, probably more than most, of kind of sharp acidity, but I don't share that with my partner or our other co-occupant here. So I'll go a little easier on the balsamic sharpness, but in most cases, if like I'm the only one eating it, I'll probably go overkill if there's some kind of vinegar or vinaigrette involved. The other thing we're gonna throw down is a roasted acorn squash with brown sugar. So we get some extra salt and fat and sugar in this situation. So that's gonna be our guilty pleasure item for the night. All of this is gonna fit into like autumn seasonal like comfort food. I think acorn squash kind of checks a big box for that. But yeah, acorn squash with brown sugar, and I'm gonna use a vegan butter. I'm gonna use a vegan butter because vegan butter is healthy, right? But all the same, I have it to use. But I think most of those I put in the description for the Twitch title tonight. So if anybody's able to stick around for a while and anyone else jumps in and like, hey, what we making? There's that reference and then everything I just described. If y'all want to help me keep up with anybody else curious who comes in, I may not be able to catch them. I'm not as socially agile or dexterously inclined when we get cooking. So chat may be delayed. I like to get that kind of setting expectations comment out of the way early. I'm doing my best to keep up with you. I'll do my god darndest. I need to turn my oven on. I need to turn my oven on. What do I want to start with? All right, that's gonna be at 350. That's gonna be at 425. Maybe I want to start with the squash and then work our way up to the Brussels sprouts. I think this is a baked mac and cheese, so it's gonna go in the oven as well. So no matter what, I need to put my oven on. So this is 400. Okay. Why don't I do figure out what to start with. Let's do the acorn squash first and then the mac and cheese, because then I can kind of take the oven up in increments here. Got the camera in a different place this time. I think it missed you. Oh no, we can still see your floating head. We can still see your gorgeous floating head, and I can give you a little. And now, come here. Beep, 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 beep. There you go. Are you gonna try these beans? Are you? Oh, you're going to the gym. She's going to the gym. She's gonna be a little muscle mommy. Okay, let's get some squoosh. What else am I gonna need for this? I will get my vegan butter, brown sugar, which I have over here, and it does what every bag of brown sugar does. It's caked together in a nice semi-solid form, so we get to break that open. And this is gonna take about 50 goddamn minutes. Okay, well that gives us time to like prep other things while that cooks. All right, brown sugar, cinnamon. I need to grab cinnamon, the vegan butter, and of course the main thing, the acorn squash. Which I prepped the squash yesterday. By prepped, I just mean I halved it. I got it all cut up. What? There it is. It was like my vegan butter done run off. It's just not the most convenient thing to get out of the fridge because it is effectively in the goddamn back of it. Sure, those little clicks and pops are adding some storytelling sound bites for us. Oh wait, do I have a pan in there? No, okay. Sometimes I'm guilty of like leaving a pan in the oven, and not this time. All right, there is our, I get the pretty side up here first so you can see that. It's nice. It's my favorite color, green, and maybe where I take inspiration for having a little pop of orange in most settings. Just about every room I've been able to independently decorate since just before college. I've always had like a little pop of orange in there. I do still have the seeds over on the side too. I was thinking about baking those too and just having them for a little snack. Although I have never baked them before, so I'm not sure how long what the treatment is to get that right. I'd have to look that up or have someone tell me. Never have I ever. Okay, I got the vegan butter. I've got the sugar de brown, and I got the cinnamon. Cinnamon. I know we have cinnamon. I've got cinnamon sticks. Yeah. But I know we've got like actual powdered cinnamon somewhere. Is it with like our baking stuff? Or elsewhere? Green cardamom, garam masala powder. All of that is wonderful. Black pepper. Yum. More cinnamon sticks. I guess I could just grind like an actual cinnamon stick would be nice to put in both my nostrils and wheeze and whistle through that. I think is what we need. I heard that that's my purse. I don't know you. Fingers crossed, it's no one nefarious. But presumably, hi Heather. I'm looking for cinnamon. Have you seen my cinnamon? Did you hide my cinnamon? You nefariously hid my cinnamon because you know we're not starting with the vegan mac and cheese first, and then that forces our hand to expedite making the mac and cheese. That makes sense. I can be sensitive to that. It's a roundabout way of asking for what you need, and you know what? I would do the same thing. I would do the exact same thing. Where is my, oh, there it is. It's with our beautifully alphabetized spice rack. Hi, Heather. It's someone nefarious. Good. Good. Feedback, real quick. How are we liking this camera angle? I'm trying something new here. Something that feels a little more natural for me. I've got my tablet behind got the camera a little lower than where it usually is. But I've got my tablet right behind that with big chat. And so much easier on the eyes. I love this for me. Y'all remember me whinging about my, I can't see the chat when I stream. More than semi-recently, we've kind of remedied that. If y'all don't know, the Frosty app, the Frosty app allows you to log into Twitch, use that to view Twitch, and then it more or less lets you choose the size of your chat font and then where it is. Left, right, bottom, how many lines of it exist at once. It's very nice. Do you feel short? Well, I've never confided in any stream my actual height. I'm very tall. Not a bad thing. I want to recreate that, IRL experience for most people when they see me. Zombies met me, he can confirm. I'm a giant. I can't help that. A small chef. Oh wait, Heather, you were talking about doing a cooking stream recently, right? Or was that like based on a something to be unlocked, like an achievement? Like you get threshold of followers or subscribers, you were going to do a cooking stream. I think that's awesome. Also, mac and cheese, please. My oven is not yet to 350 degrees. What else do I need to do here? This, for those just joining us, we have some Acorn smoosh, that's squash in Southern. This recipe calls for 2 acorn squash, which we have, 2 tablespoons of whipped vegan butter, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, to taste, my least favorite thing to see in a recipe, and a dash, which is not really a unit of measurement, but colloquially I think we can figure that out, a dash of ground cinnamon. It asks us to preheat our oven to 350 Fahrenheit. We're gonna rub a tablespoon of light butter on each side of, okay, I'm gonna melt this butter down and I guess we get to brush it. Ooh, I get to use my little brush. I so rarely get to use this brush. I bought this specifically for buttering things up. I got my little butter brush. I'm so tired of using this just on my body meat. I'm ready to put it on something else. All right, we're gonna butter these things up, and then we're gonna top them with just top, not bottom. We're gonna top them with brown sugar and cinnamon. Then they're gonna get baked. Okay. So I need to get out some butter and melt it. We gonna melt down some butter. Hi, Explorer. Picture an Arietti-sized Heather sitting cozily on the counter right now. Yeah, she's just chilling. Taking up no intrusive amount of space. And welcome to everything here. So I'm gonna get a little glass bowl to melt our butter down in. You may now put food in me. That's the song that our oven plays when it's ready for buttered acorn squash. There we go. I'm gonna use this little thing. Explorer, I'm remembering what you shared in the Discord, and I don't think I knew that you were, I don't know, like if a mathematician fits, but really anybody is a math wizard. You are effectively a math wizard. You're a mathematician to me, if we can even say like, oh, I feel relatively capable enough with math such that I could offer tutoring. I really admired that. Anything, well, not anything, most things mathematics, especially you put anything mathematic into a spreadsheet and my brain tends to go. Get out all my measuring cups here and my measuring spoons. Two tablespoons. This is whipped. I'm just gonna do more, you know, more is better. I'm also gonna get a big metal mixing bowl so that I can toss these some bitches in it. And what else I need? I need a pan to put them on. Is that gonna be too tight? It might be too tight. Though I may need this later too. Where do we have another baking dish? I know we've got one. Assistant, well hello, welcome in assistant, very happy to have you. You fancy yourself some orange flecked acorn squash? We're about to butter it up. Let me know if anybody else needs to be buttered up once we've melted this down. Not buns, though I have some. And they are warming up because my oven has too, and I'm standing right in front of it. It does have me wonder though, if I need to change like my, let's see, is anything out of focus there? Is it too bright? Maybe I need to change the light saturation. The saturation settings might be too sensitive here. Well, I mean, it looks okay on my tablet, but the light is, let me see, configure video. And we can take the gamma down. I think the gamma, holy gamma, that's too much. The gamma's too goddamn much. The brightness is much too intense, isn't it? The white balance could come up a bit. There we go. We'll take that backlight compensation down just a skosh. All right, that helps quite a bit. And all right, I think that should be a lot a bit easier on the eyes. Are they now more discernible as not buns? And I'm talking about my butt cheeks. Not these, yeah. I didn't realize that was so washed out. Okay, good. All right, well, I can reverse what we just did if, you know, we didn't leave anything open to interpretation. You know, if we need to just leave that there for anybody to take some creative inspiration with, ride that out. This is your stream too, you know, just a platform for improv. I already forgot how much butter. Always more than what it says. Okay, we're gonna put 4 of those down and then melt it. It's vegan butter, so it's inherently healthier, meaning that we can double that up and be twice as nutritious with it. That's how it works. Okay, I think that's enough. It's probably enough. We gonna microwave this here butter and get that melted down, and we'll coat all of our little acorns. What, I think 30 seconds should be enough for that. Get a swallow of my brown juice. No, I just really, I'm seeing like the 30-second delay on my tablet, and I just noticed the reflection of everything in the microwave door was there. I've never seen that before. Cool. I'm getting a better sense of what's on display here and what I do and don't want you to see. Like my butt cheeks. I'm wearing my best jeans today. Why would I not do that? All right, metal bowl. Ooh, this vegan butter melted down so nice. I think I'm gonna have myself a shot. Anyone want some butter shooters? We call them Southern whoopsie daisies, which takes longer than saying butter shooters. I don't know why we say that. Listen, the South is known for comfort food. It ain't known for intelligence or eloquence, for that matter. Unless it's me, I do try to subvert expectations when it comes to that. I think I naturally fought off having any kind of Texas drawl my entire life because of negative attitudes, even superficially negative attitudes associated with the South. I think I brought some awareness to that right around early teens. Let's get my hand all greased up. Okay, there's one butter brushed acorn squash. Heather, I might. I think about another 3 tablespoons of butter on that butter is really gonna set this apart. The Butt Chicks are the Dixie Chicks' arch nemesis and arguably a better band. You know, they never apologized for their political opinions, which I respect that. Assistant, I think I saw you've got a co-stream, maybe karaoke stream coming up with Danny in the very near future. I am wildly excited about that. I look forward to seeing the costumes. Where is... Ooh, I guess I can bake in that. That looks big enough. Although, do I want to use this for the mac and cheese? No, I think I've got out the dish that I used for the mac and cheese last time. Yes, I am unironically just naturally calling it mac and cheese now. You know, I ought to grab another kitchen towel for my digits. Foresight's about 2060. See, I'm gonna try to layer this to where they kind of support each other, because I like my food to present as a social metaphor for what works, and we like to have support structures in most capacities of our day-to-day, and we want our food to represent that for us. This thing greased up real nice. I think I'm more excited for the way this is gonna smell than anything else. Butter, sugar, cinnamon, I mean, It's a holy trifecta. One of those things that hits you and you're immediately grateful, or at least maybe some post hoc analysis somewhere on the timeline, as it hits you or after, there's some gratitude expressed for, I'm so glad that I have senses and can bring my awareness to them. It's not always the case for, like, say, foul smells, but you know what I mean. But even the ability to detect those help us avoid some nasty business sometimes. Okay. Woo! I got that cutting board a little nasty. I didn't even need to. It's okay. Look here, and let's get them properly, adequately covered in cinnamon and brown sugar. I'm gonna have to break up this brown sugar though, because it's kind of gone naughty on me. Let's see, what's the move here? Pound it out, give it the elbow. I think an elbow drop on the countertop's probably the way to go. It says 4 tablespoons of brown sugar to taste, so in that case you more or less, right? And a dash of ground cinnamon. Let's get... I need something I can beat on this brown sugar with, or stab it, for that matter. Stabbing might be the move. That's hardly an adequate blade. Note to self, buy fresh brown sugar that isn't already crystallized. There is very probably a more scientifically efficient means of decaking your brown sugar. In this method, I'm using the more, lizard-brained method. And one that I don't recommend. You can take all the inspiration you want from these cooking streams, and that includes what not to fucking do. That is a half, that is a whole, and this is a hogue. I will, of course, share the recipe with you all. All right, let's give this a proper dust. This is one of those things where I think I'm gonna put like an extra pat of butter like right in the middle of each one of these. And maybe a little bit of extra cinnamon, because again, this is like the guilty pleasure item out of the mix. Oh yeah, we got plenty more where that came from. All right. It's more like it. A dash, I believe is what it called for, a dash. That's the brown sugar cinnamon coming up next, so that may be a anticipatory and I will join you in that. I will join you in this monastic Let's dash this. Just a quick dash. I'm letting Explorer guide my hand here through the ether. I was surprised and a little embarrassed to discover a few years ago that cinnamon doesn't have any sugar in it. It is surprising though, because we always associate it with something sweet when actually it creates kind of a warmth. As my mom used it, she always decided cinnamon and sugar. Yeah, okay, I see where you're going with that. And we always paired it with something sweet. But it creates kind of a warm, savory spectrum there. It kind of just enhances the sweet. When I cut sugar out of my diet, I thought I had to give up cinnamon. My wife was like, nope, yeah, favorably, your cinnamon is safe to remain in all of your butter chicken and whatever else. All right, so we just happen to have a little bit of accidental leftover melted butter, and I'm just gonna accidentally get rid of that. Oh heck, my stars. Golly gee, and woe is me, I accidentally used all the butter. Whoopsie doopsie, spillaroopsie. I am gonna stop, it was deeply and fucking intentional. Now they go into the oven hole for kind of a while. Let's see, I'm glad I read this. It says 1/4 cup of water in the bottom of the pan. I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. Okay, 1/4 cup of water, beg my pardon. 1/4 cup of water, well that's, more than I need. But I have one of these out. 1/4 cup, there we go, 1/4 cup of water. I wonder if it would be better with like stock instead of water. Doing it. See, the thing is, with these beans that I started this morning that I finished, cooking right about the time I got home from that arts festival, came out delightful, by the way. I had some reserve vegetable broth remaining. I didn't want to add too much, you know, I'm making beans, I'm not making bean soup. But I had a little extra, just in case some evaporated and I wanted to add a little more liquid. I think here, this might give us kind of a deeper aroma to go with our, I'm gonna add a little more, give a deeper aroma, richness to cook into and around our acorn squash. Just a little liquid. All right, I think we're ready for that to go in and make sure to triple check. I'm gonna triple check using day-to-day work terms here. Let's triple check this and make sure we've done our due diligence on the instructions here on these action items. Gonna need this acorn squash by EOD, okay? No one really talks like that in our workplace. I would fucking distance myself in a heartbeat. And if you hear that stuff, get far away. Get just far away as you can, as soon as you can. Yeah, we're good. Put them in the oven for 50 minutes. That's 50 minutes. 50 minutes, not 15. It says we gotta cover. I don't want to cover it. And this is gonna take a whole hour. Okay, well, I don't have anything to properly cover with that except foil, so we're gonna cover with foil. and go from there. I don't love using that, but it's what I have. And we started keeping our potatoes in the pantry here. I'm not used to that. I'm just reaching behind them. Here we go. And in they go. Now let's set a timer. Stout. All right, when that goes off, we uncover, and what is the last step? Just uncover it, bake an additional 10 minutes, and then remove from oven, like cool and devour. Got it. So, I think next up was the item that's gonna take the oven up another 50 degrees or so. What was this one? Oh, I printed this one front to back. That's what's going on. Forgot our printer could do that instead of wasting another page. Okay, so we're at 350. Yeah, this next one for the baked vegan mac and cheese. That's going to take us to 400. But first, we must prepare. We've got our vegan butter out. We have 6 tablespoons all-purpose flour, 5 cups of coconut milk, which is 3 cans. I have that over yonder. All right, anything else I want to rinse off here while I have a sec? Notice when I'm like tapping things around the kitchen, I either tap it to the tune of Shaving a Haircut or like a Mario Brothers song. So it's usually like, and then I'll set it down. Garlic powder. I don't remember garlic powder in this. Ooh, yeah, and nutritional yeast. I do remember that. Oh yeah, I was gonna use instead of macaroni noodles, the noodles I'm gonna use is a cavatappi pasta, which is macaroni-like, it's just a little thicker. And to me, cuter. Or from a culinary standpoint, it just more efficiently looks like it's going to hold and retain more gooey, cheesy goodness. So that's also a strategic choice on my part. Yes, you will see the pasta very soon. I'm looking for other things in my pantry. Okay, you can see the pasta now. This is gonna go in there. Oh yeah, 3 cans of that. Grab my coconut milks. I don't actually know if this is unsweetened. The recipe is supposed to call for unsweetened, but I don't actually know if this is. I hope it is. What just says ingredients coconut milk. It doesn't say like anything else added, so I think we're good. Leche de coco. Okay, so I've got Trader Joe's brand, which it looks like it's just straight up coconut milk, and then I've got a Goya can that is looks like it has some extra preservatives in it, but no additional sugar, so we're good. I don't mind it if it's a little sweet, really. Cute Cheems. Yeah, I like these noodles. I think these came from Aldi too. I want to say this is their brand. one more big thing to recycle there, but it is a nice looking pasta, like a macaroni-esque pasta. And it cooks in 10 minutes, it's very fast. I suppose it's average for most pastas, but whatever. All-purpose flour, I don't have another cup of veggie stock I need to grab. I knew I was gonna go through this. I just bought 4 containers of veggie stock and I've already used 3 of them. This will be the 4th. Dijon mustard, I need to find my nutritional yeast flakes, which are here. This recipe doesn't use as much nutritional yeast as I thought it would originally. I thought this was gonna be like this and Daya. When I first heard about it from you, I thought it was gonna be a bunch of this and a bunch of Daya like cashew cheese. And I'm kind of glad that it doesn't use the cashew cheese, because for me that stuff is like GI distress, hard to look forward to eating, you know? Got the nutritional yeast. Okay, I need onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika. Cool, I think we're getting closer. I just need to find my flour. That's gonna be the one thing that is a little further back here and potentially messy if I'm not careful with it. All-purpose flour. This bag has seen better days. What's going on here? What is in the viewing angle? Okay. Veggie stock, butter, yeast, stock, Dijon. Oh, I have such a Dijon for this. I'm tempted to change it up and use a little stone ground Ingelhafer. Or we can use the honey mustard. Oh, we've got a good Dijon here. All right, Dijon, Celine Dijon mustard. Onion, garlic, got it. Powder, I mean. Where is this is onion powder, where's the granulated onion? Okay, bay leaves, chipotle powder, coriander, CG, there we go. Love these labels that we took the time to apply to every one of our dry spices. I mean, even the font is satisfying. It's almost Comic Sans, but it's not quite. I don't know if I can rotate that where you can actually, you may not perceive the spices. There you go, that's a little better. We celebrate Celine Dijon and all of her givings. Hi, Nina, are you at the gym? We're joining you on the elliptical. Little ye old-fashioned stream un gym. Well, all the credit goes to you, Nina. Okay, 10% of the credit is me. I put the lids on. The organizational skill set of ours is on full display every time that drawer is open now. Okay, we've got our vegan butter, we got our flour, coconut milk out, veggie stock, Dijon, nutritional yeast, onion and garlic powder. I still need smoked paprika. I think we just have the regular kind. I think we just got regular paprika. Although I have the, what was the other paprika that I had? I bought whenever we did the We made that butter chicken a while back and I used a different kind of... No, we totally have smoked paprika in here. That's a lie. I thought I had some other like distinct, regional, specific, special paprika, but whatever. I'm tired of saying paprika. New redeem? Say paprika again. Okay. You can't make me. Let's see, poquito sal and ground black pepper. Got it. For the breadcrumb topping, I will use... Oh, fuck. I don't know if I have panko breadcrumbs anymore, but I do have an idea. I have a creative, silly little brain who is fond of experimenting with foods and ingredients and textures in the kitchen, who is very open to finding something that is a welcome substitute for the panko breadcrumbs that I don't seem to have anymore, because I have in fact already used them in another dish. But we do have, I've got some saltine crackers. Ooh, I think I've got an idea here. I've got some cauliflower crackers that I can crunch up with some of these saltines. And I think we're gonna be hunky-dory. All right, reviewing the instructions. Add the vegan butter, let it melt. When it's melted, add in the all-purpose flour and stir it vigorously with the melted butter. Then pour the cans of coconut milk and vegetable stock. Use a hand whisk to whisk out the lumps, but I like the lumps. Keeps it interesting. Keep whisking until it starts to boil, and then keep whisking for a few minutes after it has boiled until it thickens. It will continue to thicken as it cools. So it doesn't have to be all the way there when you remove it from the heat, as long as it has thickened considerably. I think I'd remember these steps, but I have only made it one other time. Remove it from the heat and add the Celine Dijon, nutritional yeast, onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, salt and pepper, and whisk in. Now your sauce is ready and you can prepare your macaroni. Cook your macaroni according to the package directions and rinse and drain. Are we sure that I don't want to start like boiling water now and getting the noodles ready? I think it's going to take, while I'm working on the sauce, it's going to take just as long for the water to boil, so why don't I get that set up? And I'm totally going to reuse the bowl that I had the melted butter in. We can reuse that for, I think, starting the sauce. Okay, what am I going to put each thing in? Okay, this looks like a wonderful thing for sauce. A wonderful pan for sauce. Let's try that. And then another pot for boiling some nudes. Might be currently occupied by chicken soup, so I might have to get creative with another pot that I use, which is also fine. No, that looks good. It's right behind me, and we're good. Actual mac and cheese. Yeah, no metaphorical mac and cheese. No struggling to pretend that the thing that I made isn't really what we actually wanted. Tonight, it's going down. Hi, Misty. How we doing? Fancy a shot of melted vegan butter or coconut milk or fusion of both? Neither. I know, that's disgusting. Anything else you like is fine. All right, I'm gonna start that water a-boiling and I'll be referencing my instructions again multiple times. A half cup of vegan butter. Well, where is my... I've got a quarter cup, I got a third of a cup, I got a 2/3 of a cup, somewhere near me in the recent timeline. I know I've used the half cup and I don't know where I set it down because that's just kind of part of the deal when I'm cooking. Though I'm not totally averse to just using 2/4 cup and making that a half cup, because that's math. I'm actually kind of beaming today. I needed a big positive social day, and I kind of had one, but in a very concentrated dose, like a short burst of socialization with people that I really care about and got to see, and then, got to pull a goodbye when I needed to on a scheduled interval, and there was no like resistance on that. Because I went to an arts festival today. In Fort Worth, they have the annual Arts Goggle today that celebrates a bunch of mostly local artists from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So it's like from sculptures to watercolor paintings to clothing to music. It's art of every medium. And it's just gone on for the last, 14 years or so. It's gone on for a while. Don't quote me on that. It's gone on long enough that I expect it every year, like highly anticipate it and really look forward to going. And we've got one of our besties. The person that introduced Nina and I always has a booth there. So we show up to support her. She launched a greeting card business this year. So if y'all see me on Instagram like spamming handmade hello, that's our friend's greeting card business. And she does distribute online. If you just hypothetically, anybody needs some greeting cards that are cute as actual fuck for any upcoming holiday, birthday, fill in the blank. So we get to look forward to seeing her. But then there's a couple of other friends who are out there too. Some that volunteer, some that just attend, and we look forward to running into each other. So I got to visit with a couple of my homies, and then tell them, hey, good to see you, but I got a thing. I got a routine that I like to keep where I meal prep on Saturdays. I'm gonna head back and check those boxes. So I'm still kind of riding that social high a little bit. And then I'll just be a total shut-in until next year. I got it out of my system. I did my one thing. I'll let everybody know I'm still alive. And if they want to see me and interact, then they can come do it here. Oh, Explorer, you're hanging out at Misty Stream. That's awesome. Love to hear it. The quarry looks really cool, doesn't it? I'm guessing they used like motion capture for that. It looks way too well done to have not used motion capture. Oh, this vegan butter melts pretty easily at room temperature, doesn't it? I had one scoop that was oversized and one scoop that was under, so maybe that's about right. But it ain't gonna hurt to add just a little bit more, did it? Not at all. Get your thumb in there, let it know that you like it and that it's welcome and that it's gonna be a part of you soon. All right, let's get this rinsed out. I'm gonna grab another towel. And keep it in my back pocket. My wife doesn't play games, but she likes horror. I'd like to play it and see if she'll watch. Oh, that might be a thing. Maybe a good way to connect over gaming. Nina's not much into gaming either, but she did watch me play. We kind of played it together in a way. When Dragon's Age Inquisition wasn't by any means new, but after it released with all of the DLC, I bought it for PS4, and I played that for a good bit. Like the voice acting, the story was compelling. Like it was really good. I think we were kind of pairing it with like riding the wave of having just finished like Game of Thrones, and so we were still very like swords and sorcery brained. But it checked that box very much so playing. It's nice to connect through gaming that way in a way that we don't usually do. So, on that note, Explorer, I hope that works out too. All right, how much flour do I want to measure out now? 6 tablespoons all-purpose flour. Okay, let's get my tablespoon cleaned up again and dry. I'm gonna put that heat on low. I said low, not double high on both burners. It's just butter. But Misty, permit me to reciprocate. You doing good? You all right? Hope your weekend, and this goes for the lot of you, I hope your weekend is restorative, gives more than it takes kind of situation, you know? Yeah, Inquisition was one of those where I more or less tried to recreate the same character that I had for myself in Skyrim. Like, for whatever reason, I'm always drawn to playing like a wood elf, and so I made as close as I could to a wood elf. Usually a character that relies on the Riz versus combat, and where combat is expected, then it's going to be like either super stealthy close quarters or ranged, you know? But if I can, just like real life, if I can get by with charisma points, then I'm going to. We will resolve our conflict through deepening our emotional connection, and we won't let it get to blows unless we really like each other. Ooh, that's still got water in it. No, it doesn't. It's just shiny. I've had these bowls since college. They have like all these little fine cracks in them and hit the light funny, and yeah, I'm seeing things. Responding to, for your case notes, streamer is responding to internal stimuli. Appears to be auditory and visual internal stimuli. Does not seem to be distressful. Noting stimuli as benign for now. I stopped counting. How many was that? Was that 4? Piss on a Pringle. I wasn't counting. I'm just going to restart. Okay, that's a pretty healthy 1 tablespoon. Okay, 1. 2 1/4, 3-ish, officially 3, 4, and 5 and 6, probably a little more than 6, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and get these cups of coconut milk popping off over here. Then we're ready for us. Those are healthy lumps. One cup vegetable stock, so only a cup of that. I am very surprised. Okay, that was a quarter. I've got a hole somewhere. There we go. Oh, we almost had a cup exactly. The veggie stock remaining, so I think instead of using an entire other box, I'm gonna run a little water in the existing veggie broth and then top it off. Hopefully any reserve will be close enough to getting us where we need to be. Butter over here is melting. Okay, it says add the vegan butter to a pot and let it melt. When it's melted, add in the all-purpose flour and stir vigorously. But I don't know how. Okay, we need to use our cute-ass baby whisk. That's this one. Let's take this over here. Do I want to bend this or do I want to... I think that'll work for now. That'll work for now. I can always rotate the camera if that is at all disorienting, if y'all want to hit that from a different angle. I'm gonna let that last little tiny bit of butter melt down. And while that happens, I'd like to show you my beans. And no, that is not open to interpretation. Or is it? This is what we started this morning, and it finished about 2 hours ago. Slow cooked, simmered, what have you. I will share the recipe in my Discord. Turned out kind of great, and a little spicier than I would normally do, but such is the way of jalapenos, right? And each jalapeno has a different range, wildly different range with each one. It is mainly just pintos that were soaked overnight, cooked the next day in 2 containers of veggie stock, diced carrots, 6 cloves of garlic. You use 6 whole cloves of garlic because we're kind of garlic sluts around here. 6 cloves of garlic, red onion, white onion. Use the whole red onion, white onion, diced and rough chopped, respectively. Not that that matters, just for aesthetic. Flavor, yes, but aesthetic for the chopping, the appearance. 2 whole bay leaves. 1 jalapeno or serrano, if you want to substitute that, and then some diced chilies and crushed tomatoes. So you can, or not crushed tomatoes, diced chilies, diced tomatoes. You can also just substitute a can of Rotel. Not to be weird, but no, weird is my baseline. That is more than welcome. Also, hi chunkers. Yes, we are starting a vegan mac and cheese. I'm melting the vegan butter down now. And I'm about to make our sauce. I think we're ready to whisk that in. And hello again, Echo Heart. The soothing voice, it's intentional, it's an affectation, it's not really me. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. I usually sound like this, motherfucker. You just get me outside IRL, the draw kicks on, the honky is full 10 out of 10, it's gross. So like the stream affectation though is kind of pleasant though, yeah? I'm kidding, I'm like this most of the time. I have to be kind of quiet. Our co-occupant here is down with a migraine, so I'm trying to be a little quiet, but also make sure the microphone's gonna pick me up because I'm not usually that loud anyway. Were you just in Fort Worth? If you were here today, or if you left at all today, I would have wanted for you to have experienced the arts goggle, because the arts goggle was today, and that's where I just came back from before starting a cooking stream. Let me double check my instructions on this. Add the vegan butter to a pot, let it melt. When it's melted, add in the all-purpose flour, stir vigorously with the melted butter. Okay, we are stirring so vigorously. What is vigorous, though? Vigorous is kind of subjective, though. Like, anything beyond, like, a light slap and tickle is kind of vigorous for me. I think that's vigorous. All right, add in the vegan butter to a pot, melt it, stir in the all-purpose flour, stir it vigorously, then pour in the cans of coconut milk and add the veggie stock. Okay, we're gonna add in the coconut milk. We do one at a time and mind the splashback. That's got some lumps to de-lump. And earnestly, if you like the sound of my voice, thank you for giving me that compliment on the voice. I think about how unique all of our voices are all of the time, not dissimilar from a fingerprint. And we kind of share some overlap with our vocal affectations over time, like as we social learners tend to model our vocal inclinations around who we are exposed to over time, meaning our parents first and then other friends and family second as we age. We kind of tend to adopt like their rates of speech, volume levels, that sort of thing. People that we admire later come along. We take inspiration from them. And then amongst like, especially the neurodivergent population tend to like parrot and have some echolalia and more affectations such that they're sometimes misinterpreted as like being histrionic. And where I'm going with all of that is over time, kind of experimenting with those affectations and social identities and maybe borrowing certain little idiosyncrasies from other people over time, ultimately someone's gonna land with sounding like them versus the others that they took inspiration from.
Fluffy has arrived with some sweet, brilliant, beautiful babies.
Speaking of voices that I really like and admire, It's So Fluffy is one of them. Welcome in, Fluff. I am assembling the sauce for a vegan mac and cheese. So if this is looking kind of nasty, it gets prettier. It's kind of like me. The original interpretation of the casual assessment may be, oh, they're nasty, but it gets prettier, I assure you. I would invite everyone here, if you're not familiar with It's So Fluffy, go ahead and press that follow button. Thank you, Manic. I did not know you were there, you mega sweetie. Thank you for shouting out Fluff, because at this point, with my social agility and limited dexterity, I can only give you a verbal endorsement. I say only that it's. I can make it sing. I can make a verbal endorsement absolute fucking poetry. The point is, check out Fluffy. Spend some time with Fluffy. UK-based streamer, doesn't always stream UK-based hours. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Fluff, I'm glad I caught you. I'm glad I got to chill in Watson's stream this morning too. It was a good time whisking out these lumps. We're whisking out these lumps just like we approach the rest of our lives. We gotta whisk out the lumps. DKC, welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. I also apologize. It looks like I've got ads coming in about 6 minutes. We do top of the hour 3-minute ad breaks here. Though, as opposed to like my typical chatting and gaming streams, I don't take a break in these cases. We just run the ads and I keep going. But where I'm going with that is I'm going to go ahead and like set and manage some expectations with a minor apology that if you are disrupted by ads here in about 3 minutes, expect them. But they'll go away. We ride those waves just like intense emotions. They come up, they happen, we feel our way through with them. We get back to baseline. Ooh, unsteady hand. We're gonna toss in our, I say toss, I'm gonna gently pour. I don't wanna toss, I'm really in a tossing mood here. We're gonna gently pour in our stock. Whereas this is vegan butter, flour, kind of a lot of flour. A lot of vegan butter, flour, stock, veggie stock, and coconut milk. And that's gonna comprise a lot of our cheese for the vegan mac and cheese. We're eventually gonna stir in some nutritional yeast as well. Checking the next steps here. Keep whisking until it starts to boil, and then whisking for a few minutes. Oh, we need to get this to a boil. Well, at the current heat, it is not gonna boil. Let me turn this up a little bit. Before it does, let me wipe that away. Woo. I'm gonna wish I used a slightly larger pot here, but we'll do the best we can when this starts to boil so it doesn't quite boil over. I'm a big fan of nutritional yeast, even outside of this recipe. Add it to a few other things. For those that came in with fluff, no obligation to stick around, obviously. If you do, we're maybe about halfway through the cooking stream. Couple of items ready to go. I've got some acorn squash in the oven right now that we'll be pulling out in about 15 minutes. Absolutely smattered, coated, and otherwise bathed as a motherfucker in butter, cinnamon, and sugar. And I'm gonna wish you can smell it when we pull that out of the oven in about 15 minutes. In addition to the acorn squash vegan mac and cheese, one other thing we're gonna throw down in the oven is some Brussels sprouts. We're gonna do Brussels sprouts with some balsamic vinegar and some Parmigiano Reggiano. For anybody curious, why are you cooking so late on your Saturday hogue? I meal prep for my partner and I every Saturday. It's just one of those things. I have the secondary gains of deciding to do this and the privilege of being able to do this on stream sometimes. So most Saturdays are cooking streams for me. I guess I'm segueing this to an introduction. Most Saturdays are cooking streams for me. Sundays are usually longer, just chatting psychoeducation, pop culture, politic, and silly bullshit. And retro gaming, lots of retro gaming. So retro gaming usually on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. That's the schedule. All right, I'm gonna stop stirring that for a minute and see if that can get to a boil, and then we'll work on the rest of it. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this pasta. I don't know if you can see that over there, but my pasta water is effectively starting to boil. Okay, so when my 15-minute timer is down to about 3 minutes, then I know I'm gonna take out this pasta. So instead of using a macaroni noodle, we're gonna use this cavatappi. Cavatappi is not dissimilar from macaroni, except that it's a little thicker. Think of it like dummy thick macaroni, because we fans of that dummy thick. And yeah, so you can see it's just a little bit longer, so it's gonna capture more of the Cheems part of the mac and Cheems component there. I think it would behave rather lovely. Let's see, we've got a minute before I need to run ads. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and push that button and run those ads. If y'all are able to stick around and wish to, more than welcome to. If you choose to follow, follows are anonymous. There's the text warning. And thank y'all for sticking around and supporting the stream, and little old me. Fluffy, thank you again. Always good to see you, bruv. Let's say, with noodles going in the hot bath, one thing you always want to do with your noodles is don't put them in early. Wait for your Wait for your waddle to actually start waddling. That's going to co-occur around the same time that your water boils. Wait for your water to boil before you drop your nudes in the bath. They'll behave better that way. There's really no such thing as over stirring your pasta. The one thing that is going to prevent your pasta from sticking is stirring. That and not overcooking it. Not overcooking your pasta will also prevent it from sticking. So stirring, not overcooking. And I'll explain further as we get further into this. Typically, we would reserve some of the starchy pasta water for the dish, but we're not going to use any of that this time because we're not actually making like a pasta and marinara sauce. But if we were, I would reserve some of the pasta water for exactly that. Usually where people get caught up on their pasta sticking is kind of right at the end where it seems like it's done cooking, but it's actually going to finish cooking in the same hot water. Like the mistake that gets made sometimes, for some, not all, is leaving their pasta on the same burner that they just turned off, that was just on high heat, where it was just boiling, and not knowing that their pasta continues to cook. So one thing you can do is take it directly from the burner to your sink, run it under some cold water. Don't drain the pasta, just add some cold water to your pasta water and it will help it stop cooking. Give it another stir and it won't stick. Okay, this is starting to thicken up real nice. I'm trying to be so cautious of like splashback over the side under the burner. I mean, yeah, it's arguably relatively easy to clean up, but the less mess I make now, the less mess my future self has to fuck with. And what I like to reference pretty often, in general, but especially during cooking streams, is just the allegorical, you know, looking out for future you. We don't always do a great job in looking out for future us, but there's a lot of takeaways, skills check training that we can glean and reference to better accommodate ourselves going forward from just cooking, practicing cooking. There's always like some metaphorical takeaways from that. So says me. And Manic, I didn't catch this because it didn't happen while I was streaming, but Manic, thank you for gifting a sub to QTH. I saw that well after. I appreciate you, partner. It's starting to get pretty warm over here. I got both burners going with the oven. Full disclosure, my crotch parts are getting pretty hot here. I'm gonna just back away for a minute. My body meat's done warmed up. Maybe a cold bevy. Maybe a little cold bevy, I think, would just do us a solid. I've had these for months. I don't even know if they're any good anymore. These pear hard ciders. I don't typically drink on stream, but I don't really qualify this as drinking. I mean, it's a hard cider. I don't have a single hard cider. With your permission, with your consent. You know, if anybody is averse to the presence of alcohol, if that is creating some adverse reminiscence, I believe the clinical term is euphoric recall. If it is otherwise unpleasant for you to witness someone drinking alcohol, then I don't have to. I can hydrate in other ways. I say hydrate. Alcohol is, like, by definition, it's by its composition, rather, it is not going to necessarily hydrate you. It's an inflammatory, it's a depressant, but it's also a stimulant. It's kind of funny how it works. Either way, the point is, I don't drink all that often. I've had these 6, so what started off as 6 hard ciders, now 2 I've had for almost a year. All right, I see no opposition presently to my preface on that. Oh yeah, the ad text can go away, can't it? Yes, it can. Okay. I mean, not as crisp as it would have been months ago, but it's still pretty all right. Okay, I think I've seen this before, but whose Billy and Mandy emote is that? Because it's kind of making me feel things that are aligned with being happy inside. I like that a lot. Opalop. Opalop. We starting to get some bubs in our sauce over here. This playlist is doing all right. It's kind of reminding me of Coffee Talk, the Coffee Talk soundtrack. It was one that was on like the front page of YouTube. Like as soon as I opened it, I was like, I know I need something lo-fi and commercial license free. Oh, look there. Autumn lo-fi tunes. Oh, the full streamer handle is Opalopolis? Opalopolis? Opalopolis. We'll figure it out together. It will continue to, okay, this will continue to thicken as it cools. When do we add maybe it's the next step. When do we add our nutritional yeast and stuff? Okay, so after we remove it from the heat, once this gets to a boil, we're gonna stir it for a few minutes while it boils, then we're gonna take it off the heat, which means I'm just gonna move it to the burner that is not active, just north of it. And then we're gonna stir in the Dijon mustard, nutritional yeast, onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, salt and pep, and whisk that Lo Mama until it's ready. So chunkers, thank you for clarifying. I'm not gonna leave that hanging over the edge. It just gets too hot. Let's see, do I want to go ahead and preempt my Dijon and everything else? I think I might. 3 tablespoons of Dijon, got it. I think. I can hear Nina listening to Dirty Projectors upstairs. For those who don't know, that's a band. Dirty Projectors. We've got some bubbles here, wonderful. And this should be right aligned with, I'm actually gonna turn the heat down now so it doesn't boil over. I'm really gonna try to prevent this from boiling over. I'm really trying to prevent this from boiling over. Okay, we're gonna take it off the heat right now. Because it was already trying to, there we go. That's what I was trying to avoid. I'm glad I took it away when I did. Oof. Oh, hot shit. Yeah, I got a little bit of a mess back there. It's okay. Lesson learned next time to not use this same pan, cause it just ain't fucking deep enough. Oof, stirring over that burner is pretty warm on the palms. Pretty warm on the palms. Okay, let's take, our macaroni should be done. Okay, there's about a minute left on my oven timer, meaning that I'm about to move this pasta over to the sink and get some water in there so it doesn't overcook and stick. And then we're gonna take our acorn squash out of the oven. Just briefly, I need to uncover the acorn squash and then put it back in. right, cold water go. Okay, we're gonna add in our, oof, it's pretty warm. Let me figure my life out real quick. Okay, I'm not too worried about that clotting. It seems like it's doing okay. Let's get something to put that on. That will do. Okay. Now we take the squash out. Take that off. Yeah, I got a little mess to clean up back there. We lost some Cheems sauce. How devastating. Now let's take this back over here. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah, even the mess. You want to see some of the mess? The mess is kind of hiding underneath the microwave, but I've got a little pool to pad my palms into when I'm getting ready when that's cooled off. Clip back where I had you. Consarned it. All right. So we are going to toss in our, this is our Dijon mustard. Okay. I think it's everything else goes in at this point. Oh shit, let me turn my other faucet off. Pull out the acorn squash right now. Yep, haven't forgotten. It's hot. There's a lot of heat coming out of that. It's only 350. Yeah. Okay, now. Ooh, I hear you. I hear you. Ooh. Let's take this. All right, we're just gonna uncover it. Okay, those already look and smell fucking bangarang. I'm gonna really wish that y'all could smell these. All the rich, buttery, cinnamon, sugar goodness going on here. Specifically brown sugar. Why am I not, I'm having a hard time like orienting this for you, but the door. I'll give you a proper look later when it's a little more conducive and a lot more comfortable. Hi. Okay, 10 more minutes. Set a timer, 10 more minutes. These are all the moments on cooking shows that get edited out, but we're doing this shit live, mama. One person's mess is another person's gorgeous Cheems. That is a mantra. All right, this is thickening up for us. I think it's going to continue to thicken up for us. How creative. Everything that goes into this. How creative, how thoughtful. Okay, so we're gonna add in our, does the nutritional yeast go in now too? Yeah, okay. 1 cup, it is kind of a lot actually. 1 cup of nutritional yeast flakes. After this, Daddy's gonna need to buy some more nutritional yeast. All right. Nutritional yeast going in. I'm gonna stir in a little bit at a time and then we'll add some more. So was it a mistake resting the metal utensil against the very hot metal bowl for any amount of time? It was. Okay, now I'm gonna add most of the rest of this, not all of it. Still having to be super careful since I don't want more of a mess to clean up. You know, part of the deal with cooking is, you know, we inherently accept that the end result of our cooking will create some mess, and that's okay. But I don't want more than necessary. It's thickening up so pretty. Is what my family and distant relatives have said about me in front of me at family reunions. And what I'm saying now for this sauce. All right, we need to add in everything else. Garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika. 1.5 teaspoons. I'm gonna eyeball it. Mama. Oh, I'll do it right. I don't wanna, but I'll do it right. This is a 1/2 teaspoon. Spoon. I guess somewhere I'm missing part of the spoon. That's not coming out very easily. Fuck's wrong with you? Getting cakey. There we go. Okay, and a 1, kind of. And kind of 2. Okay, I'm gonna put a lid on this and give it like a pretty aggressive shake because it's caked up. I'm guessing I held it over steam too many times and it got kind of cakey. And 3-ish. There we go. You know what? I don't mind if a little extra smoked paprika gets in there. It's one of my favorite flavors to add to several dishes anyway. I absolutely do not want to get carried away with the garlic powder or the onion powder. Both are pretty intense pretty quickly. A little tiny bit goes such a long way, mama. We are looking at how much? Okay, 3 teaspoons of each. 3 teaspoons of each, really? That's a lot. 3 teaspoons of each. Okay, there's 3 of the garlic. 1, 2, 3 of the onion. Now we're just gonna finish it with black pepper and salt. Hi. We'll whisk this in. Oh my God, that already smells amazing. I don't know why the moment I started stirring that the aroma hit me, but I guess a little, a lot of bit of the spice just turned into like rode plume up to my nose holes and danced for me a little bit. It was excellent. Got 4 minutes left on the acorn squash. And I think we can finally add the black pepper and salt, which not too much, really. Like with most things here, if you've hung around for a cooking stream before, I don't tend to get carried away with salt. It's one of those things we tend to add later and it's fine. Like most people prefer to choose their own salt. Pepper, likewise, also as well. Which, I mean, what was it asking for there? 1.5 teaspoons. I did about 1 of each of those. Dwarven Dynamite, welcome in. Dwarven, we're making some vegan mac and cheems. We're currently stirring the Cheems component of the mac and cheems. This is mostly comprised of coconut milk, nutritional yeast, Dijon mustard, garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of radical acceptance to taste. Did everybody here know that Dwarven Dynamite is a streamer and that it would make me happy inside if you followed him? Been streaming up a storm lately. But it's a good storm, it's a soothing storm. It's the kind of like misty, soothing rain kind of storm, not the tumultuous central nervous system activating kind of storm. You feel safe under Dwarven Storm, is the point. You're okay, you don't have to duck around. Okay, what else we add into this? Okay, the playlist, it sounds like, there's no way I've run out a playlist, but it sounds like the music segued into a familiar artist. I don't think it is, but it reminds me of, who was it? Not No Such Thing, it's another like dreamwave kind of poppy artist that I haven't listened to in a long time. Lapalux. Anybody listen to Lapalux? The sound in the background kind of reminded me of Lapalux. Real sexy tunes from Lapalux. Though if I played their music on stream, it would get the VOD muted, and we don't want that on our cooking streams at all. All right, next up. All right, we get the macaroni cooked over yonder. I say macaroni, it was cavatappi pasta because we pulled an audible because we can. Because we sexy like that. Transfer the macaroni and sauce to a 9x13 baking dish. We're gonna mix it all together. I'm gonna mix it together in a separate bowl and then we're gonna put it in a separate dish. And as soon as I figure out what that looks like, actually first, I'm gonna take this acorn squash out, set that on something, and then turn my oven temperature up because that's ultimately gonna be needed next. Also, I am so glad I chose to do that. God damn, that's nice. Anybody else want to dip a fingy in there? Wash your hands first. Get your fingy dip, and do 2 if you want. Go just right in there, however you feel is right. But no double dippies. It's a single dip in and out, so make sure you hit it right. All right, is this burner off long enough that I can set anything there? If not. All right, acorn squash is coming up. Hey, Nina, you want to try some acorn squash? Some super vegan buttery cinnamon and brown sugared. Oh my God, can you smell that? If you can't, you fit in a... All right, get this over yonder for y'all. Acorn squash. Aren't we just doing like an autumnally aesthetically appropriate? That's a tough alliteration to throw together. Cooking stream. Autumnally appropriate aesthetic cooking stream. We made some goddamn acorn squash. Here it is. It's coated in vegan butter specifically because it's healthy butter. Brown sugar and cinnamon. Yeah, it smells amazing. It's also very hot. I'm gonna set it down. What's up now?
Did you want me to try some?
Yes. Any one of those you want.
I just want
Just get your bite. Well, be careful with that's gonna be very, very hot.
how to get it?
No. You may want to stab one side with a fork though. Here. No, I got it. I mean, if you were able to just pierce that easily with a spoon, then that means it's very done. I'm sure like the middle is gonna be even better where like all that liquid pooled together, but should be good. Okay, I need to drain that pasta over yonder. All recipes will be shared in the Discord, and I tend to post like the food porn online along with the recipes too. Like if you're following me on Threads, and I may start cross-posting on Blue Sky. I'm not super enthusiastic about having multiple channels out there, but it seems like there's another mass migration occurring. Yeah, it should have cooled down enough to where it's not gonna, scald your tongue overall. Just get a spoon or whatever, and dip your fingy in there. Told everybody else they could. Let's see, I need a colander. I think that's better than Spiral Diner. And that's stupid. I used a little extra smoked paprika because we can. You like them beans? I'm glad you like them beans. Good. Alright, it's time to strain the pasta. Sorry about the noise, yo. Okay, I think I can start moving some shit out of my way. Move this dirty dishwasher open. What did I use last time to make the mac and cheese? Did I put the mac? Do you know if I put the mac and cheese in the glass dish that I put the squash in? Did I use that last time, or did I use the blue thing?
I thought it was in a bowl. Oh,
I don't remember. I don't bloody remember. But I'm running out of things to bake in. Is the problem. I don't think that's going to be deep enough. It might be. I don't think it's going to be deep enough, though.
You want to put it in 2 different containers?
I can. What else do we have? I know. I'll portion it out into our cupcake pan. We'll have mac and cheese cupcakes. Yeah, I'll try to make our old blue baby work, and then if that doesn't seem like it's gonna work, then yeah, I guess we're gonna do both. Yeah, I think I can already tell this is gonna be a lot. So let's make some space here. I think that's the appropriate next step, is to give ourselves some space. Okay. Let's take a moment for a bit of tidy up. I'm not using that knife ever at all, even once. It's ready to go. I'm gonna try some. I'm gonna do a quick sneak peek mac and cheese dip. Oh, yum. That's gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
You gotta gain a preview bite every now and then, you know? Here. Okay, it won't burn. All right, I'll blow on it. I keep forgetting I'm just in my back pocket. That pasta is really good. Ooh, ooh. Okay, let's move the entire cutting board up. There we go. Now I've got room. I need to shake out some extra moisture from this pasta and then we'll be good to go. I think actually
It fits?
we're gonna be okay with that. I just need to toss the, okay, now that I know that works, I'm gonna toss the pasta in another metal bowl with that sauce and then that'll be okay. Okay, I'm good. We'll use this big dog daddy. I don't care if the bottom gets dirty. But y'all can't really see what's going on there, can you? Yeah, fix that right up proper like, and yeah, you can kind of dig up on that. Which way you want to go? There we go, and closer to the goal than it was, mama. Okay, now let's take all of our beautiful pastas. I'm so pleased that everything fits in here. First, we're gonna give it a nice toss. Let everybody get to know each other. Don't you fall, god damn it. And for the easily peaked look away, but for those who want to see the sexiest thing they've seen all day, just a little bit at a time. The bottom of this bowl is getting very hot. Thanks, heat transference. There you go. Apologies, I meant to mute the mic before I hit the disposal. Didn't do it, and we're all worse for it. I will make it up to you. On a future stream, let's be honest, it's not gonna happen today. All right, I do wanna add a little bit of this, and this is gonna be an appropriate time for me to mince in a jalapeno, I think. So why don't we plan on that? What do I want to fold this with? Let's use a spatula and kind of fold this together. Ooh, don't you flop on the floor. That comes later. '18 and up streams can only go so far on Twitch. Chunkers, you forgot to pick up some acorn squash at the store today. It's still in season, you've got time. And after you buy them, they're good for like a month before you even get to a point where you need to like have them and do anything with that. You've got time. I think I did this before. We're gonna add a little extra nutritional yeast to kind of thicken things up a little bit. I'm gonna take another swig of my pear cider. My dishes over here, nice and prepped. Make them easy for cleaning up. What was I? Ah, yes. Okay, we're gonna move this gorgeous mac and cheese out of sight for just a moment. And use what space I have here to we get a jalapeno prepped for us. That's a lot of mac and cheese, Hogue. Are you sure one jalapeno is gonna do it? Yes. Cause it's a little chubster of a jalapeno. It's gonna be enough. I'm also, we're gonna tame it a little bit, and different verbiage for that. We're gonna take some of the heat out of it. Deveining, deseeding, but just half, and leave the other half in. Well, Heather reminded me it was a welcome recommendation. Don't touch the meat, and you won't have to worry about capsaicin getting on your fingers and worry about rubbing your eyes later either. So when it comes to deseeding, I still don't advise like rubbing your eyes after touching a pepper anyway, but if you're careful with where you hold it and like touch the waxy part and not the inside, you should be mostly okay. Use a little, use a bread knife, I think is most appropriate for everything. Underutilized, here we'll get a quick little paring knife in there. Got a V into that. There we go. And I'll loosen up some of the innards. If you're extra careful, you won't kick a bunch of seeds over your backsplash. Reminder to what I was cautioning against earlier, and in different ways that you take inspiration from this stream, right? You might do some things relatively close as you can to me, and others you would just outright fucking avoid. I'm gonna cut this straight down the middle into little strips, not quite toothpicks. I'm not going to go in quite that thin for toothpicks, but then once you've got that down, just rock and chop, get your other blade out of the way. Talking to me. And we could go for a finer cut, but that's about as fine as I'm gonna do. Actually, kind of worked. Fuck it. I ain't putting my contacts in. We're fine. All right, we can go a little finer this time. Let's just create more cuts and slice it more thinly, and then when you go to dice it, you go from a dice to a mince, almost. Also, I'd recommend nobody take inspiration from the way I curl my fingers around whenever I'm cutting, because most people want to cut like that and claw as you go. I never developed that habit, nor would I want anybody to model their cutting pattern after me. With one exception, do hold your knife like that. You get way more control holding your knife like that. So I'm going to bring that bowl back over here. It's gonna be spicy, but I like, explore, believe in the jalapeno as well. We'll give it a little color. Honestly, if I had, and this had room for more, I'd add a little red to it, like some red bell pepper or something along those lines. I think would go really well. Yeah, you can totally see the difference between the rougher cuts, the wider cuts that I made with the first half of the jalapeno, and then the finer cuts on the second half. For something like this, you probably want it minced as much as possible. Fully self-aware, I just rub my nose after saying, basically don't touch your face after cutting and touching anything with capsaicin in it. We're gonna have a little flare-up food. I'm doing okay. I have no sensation here, it's fine. Not after all the Botox. This, furthest extent of what cosmetic surgery was capable of. Best we got. Okay, now, whereas my oven is not to 400 because I didn't ever turn it up. Well then, it's fitting to be. Because there's already 350, so it shouldn't take too much longer to get to 400. All right, we're gonna transfer this, and then we're gonna make our crumb topping. All right, how's my burner on this side? Is that, okay, I think that's cooled down long enough that I can set it right over here. Cannot wait to clean up this space for the next thing. It's bugging the piss out of me that I've not made that tidier yet. Okay. Pour that as close to the pan as I can so I don't get as much splashback. And yeah, I saw one of those jump out, which means I'm just gonna have to eat it. Ooh, it's all pooled up on that side. Curious. Well, I can't get too carried away with trying to stir in the pasta here, but try to even out the liquid here and let it find some level. Okay. Now the recipe calls for panko crumbs, which I used last time and they were goddamn marvelous. However, in this case, I am absent panko crumbs. I have yet to resupply my favorite Trader Joe's bag of panko crumbs. Mainly because Trader Joe's is by no means a convenient store for us to get to, but when we do go, I load up on little things like that. Specifically, absent those Trader Joe's panko crumbs, I'll get creative with what we can do. I have to be damn so careful getting this in and out of the oven so we monitor some spillage. It should thicken up a bit as we go. So I have some cauliflower sea salt crackers that I'm gonna mix with some saltines. I'm thinking of anything else I want to mix in with that too, like more nutritional yeast, more paprika. What would really help this stuff sing? I think I deserve a cracker too while I'm at it. Not too many of those. Not too many of the, I guess the saltine to cauliflower cracker ratio. Probably 70-30, 70% ratio at 70% saltines to 30% cauliflower crackers. But I'm using these from Aldi. Pretty decent for a little snacking cracker. So we got these together, we're just gonna crunch them up and coat the top. Poor crackers, you have served me well. Okay, our oven has reached 400 degrees temp, so we're about ready to add on our breadcrumb topping. All right, next steps. Oh, you can also use, looks like this is recommending you can, well, not recommending, but as a substitution, you can use, just toast some bread and tear that toast up. As a literal breadcrumb topping. I think the cauliflower crackers in this are going to be a nice touch. Yeah, delicately layering this on to like what sounds like smooth jazz in the background. That sounds about right. That fits. Okay. This is gonna go in the oven for how long? 20 minutes. I'm just gonna do 20 minutes. So we'll be able to try this pretty quickly while I tidy up and get the next thing ready. The next and last thing, which is gonna be Brussels sprouts, which will cook at a higher temperature, but for less time too. And that'll be the last thing we do, and then we'll pack it up. Cross each other, say good game, good game, good game, good game, good game. That's us patting each other on the bohiney repeatedly, good game, good game, good game, good game. And then we'll go on a raid. One more thing, and then we'll go on a raid. I do want to try the acorn squash too. All right, if y'all are ready to see this mac and cheese off to the oven. I know it's hard to say goodbye to for now, but it's gonna come out looking even better in about 20 minutes. Let me tidy that up. I hit that too. All right, steady hands as possible since I've got this thing about as filled to the brim as can be. And that layer that we put on the top should come out with a nice, admittedly slightly burnt, but crunchier aesthetic. A deeper brown, touch on the top of that, and make for a nice complete bite, right? We already have, goodness gracious me, it's time for another ad again. And now I'm sad again because it's time for another ad again. I take it back, I'm happy again. That's just fine. That's just goddamn fine. Damn, those Cheems look good. I can't wait to share it with everybody. I mean, realistically, I wish I could. Save for those parts where I stuck my fingies in there, but I mean, everybody stuck their fingies in there, didn't they? I hope so. It's extra seasoning. All right, let's clean up some of this. I've got my wastebasket right here. Let me take these to the sink for a rinse. Got a few things I can take to recycling here. Our coconut milk cans, any box that I opened, the pasta box, the veggie stocks that we've rinsed, and the cauliflower crackers box. Those are all recyclable. Of course, for most things, we're well aware that recyclable, of course, is always in quotes at this point. I didn't set a timer. Well, we put the mac and cheese in 4 minutes ago, so 3-4 minutes ago. Timer. There we go. Instead of 17-minute timer, we'll check on it. Look at all this Cheems. We must be nasty. Okay, some of this I'm gonna have to clean up later. Though, that mess behind the back burner where we had a little bit of overflow, I think I can take care of that right now. Oh, well, you know what, while we're doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and run, please excuse my dear Aunt Streamer, I'm gonna go ahead and run our next 3-minute ad break, so 3 extra minutes for you to assess and achieve maximum co's. I believe in you, I know you can, and I know also I am an added integral component to your co's. So let's ride this 3-minute ad break, and I'll see you on the other side. Time for you to wash your hands, you know, get ready for a full serving. I don't know which try why I did yet. Misty/Alora, Heather says hello. Man, why is Twitch being funky again? Why won't it let you at her? All right, ads coming up now. And thank you all for supporting us. Acorn squash over there, vegetable broth there. I don't need that anymore. I don't think I need that anymore. I'm gonna set it over here. What can I put in the dishwasher? Firstly, Firstly, princely, primarily to start. Oh, good. We're the proud owners of an ice cream scoop now. So we realized after years we don't own an ice cream scoop somehow, and we saw with like multiple baking recipes, since we started baking more recently, saw with more baking recipes that the device used for plopping down equal measurements of, say, like pancakes or cookies or whatever else, we're using a pretty standard ice cream scoop. So now we have one. All right, several of these things, like my mixing bowls, I'm just gonna wash by hand. What are we doing on ads? We got about a minute left. Okay. Maybe that's the thing to do when I'm running ads, is just kind of use that time to tidy up a little bit. That's like our equivalent of pausing at other times. Like if we was doing a desktop stream. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good, does it? There's something in the... The poor half teaspoon, or poor half tablespoon fell down the disposal. It didn't get chopped up too bad. It's still salvageable. That poor baby. All right, big pot, little pot, mixing bowls, those are all gonna get washed by hand. Also because they don't fit in the dishwasher. And I think I've just about got everything cleaned up here so we can be ready to move on to the next. For our Brussels sprouts. What do you... yes. Is this okay? Okay. All right, I think that's good. Everything else I can put away. Is this cabinet in the way? The cabinet may have been in the way. All right. The ads should have already come and gone. I do need to take that text off now, though, that I've got a chance to make that right by us and the Lord. And I'm almost done tidying up on the side over here so I can move on to the last bit of our Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna mute myself just one moment. Okay, should be all back and all good. There's one more nasty bit of a mess that I'm staring at here, but it can wait. It can wait. Hi, Helen. It can wait. I still want to try, and I'm going to. I'm going to try our acorn squash over there. All that buttery cinnamon goodness just staring at me. I don't know that I quite articulated cinnamony, but who cares, right? Here's a bite. There's a bite that looks like that. It's gonna go in my mouth hole now. It's a really nice aroma. Yeah. It'd be better if it's a little warmer, but I think we're onto something there. Honestly, I think the more brown sugar, the merrier in this. Mm-hmm. That's a fine side. About as good a side as one could hope for mac and cheese. All right, let's get our Brussels sprouts. Mac and cheese comes out in not but 7.5 minutes. All right, roasted acorn squash brown sugar done. Classic baked mac and cheese done. Next. Roasted Brussels sprouts with balsamic vinegar, honey, and I'm gonna add, I don't know, I'm gonna go light on the honey and mix in some Parmigiano Reggiano. Yeah, but why did you say Parmigiano Reggiano? Weird, because I can. Extra mixing bowl. Bonk. It's gonna take a moment to have all of these. Did I just buy one of these, or I thought I had 2 bags of these? Oh, there we go. Now, I'm gonna need, I'm gonna need a pan that I can't seem to find. Mac and cheese is doing fine. Definitely using a bigger container next time. I am very sure that the container I used for the acorn squash is exactly what I used for the mac and cheese last time. 'Cause I don't remember having that much of a mess to clean up. All right, off. Give these a quick rinse. And thorough a rinse as can be. These are gonna be pretty simple, really. We're just gonna have these. Toss them. Toss them in some olive oil, and then everything else we want it to be flavored with. I think what I'm not going to do is leave that knife there for me to forget about and then, you know, pierce myself with. I think that's probably the move. Our mac and cheese is coming out in 3 minutes. I'm so excited. And what am I going to use for the Brussels sprouts? I think this knife will be fine. And we're going to take them right down the middle like that. Not a super fast way to do this. The thing with Brussels sprouts is they are kind of iron rich, and so maybe not the greatest thing to serve to somebody who has, like, say, hemochromatosis or something along those lines. Outside of that, pretty good for you. Yeah, a few more of these, and I recognize I'm running out of carving space, so we'll drop them bad boys in a different mixing bowl. Got not but 1 minute to take the mac and cheese out. I think there's no other step but to take the mac and cheese out of the oven and then let it sit for a little bitty while. Yeah, next step's just to take it out. Okay. I'm going to kill this timer. And relocate my oven mitts. There they are. Woo! Okay. Absolutely need a bigger container next time. I'm about to get Cheems all over these mitts. But I will say, even though it's kind of cooked over the sides, it looks kind of amazing. Like almost an intentional mess. So I'm gonna say it was. I'm gonna absolutely say that it was an intentional mess. You know what? I got a couple spots on the bottom of the oven, and I'm not even gonna worry about it because I needed to clean the oven anyway. This just gives me an extra reason to spot check and clean the oven. You wanna see the mac and cheese? We're gonna not touch that for a while, but it looks... Take a peek over there. And everybody all horned up for this. Show a little leg first, and then work our way up to the hips and nips. Oh, ooh la la. Ooh la la. It's like the magazine reveal in Back to the Future. Ooh la la! Ooh la la! Ooh la la. Here it is. I'm not ready to scald my tongue yet. I am very happy with the way that saltine and, what did we use? Oh yeah, cauliflower cracker, crust, breading, topping, what have you. Hi, Helen. There it is.
Salt treat has arrived with some
Let's
sweet,
take
brilliant,
our
beautiful
oven
babies.
temperature up to coincide with the raid, I think. Or the sub. Let's say I wasn't sure if that was a sub alert or a raid alert. I was just kind of rolling with it. Thank you, Sultry. Or was it is it both? Is it? Oh, it was a raid. Okay, it was a raid. Hi, Sultry. I'm turning my oven temperature up to coincide with your arrival. Like at 50 degrees or so. We're gonna bring it from 4 to 450. I think that sounds about appropriate for us. Hi, Raiders. Oh shit, hell. I don't need no cook time. Quit that. Quit that. I don't need no cook time. Start that off. Okay, bake. I'm learning how to use an oven in real time. It's my first time. It's my first stream. It's my first cooking stream. And it's my first time using an oven. I want this to be a tutorial for everybody, principally on what not to fucking do when they're cooking. The important thing is we're learning. How was Sultry's stream, and has everybody here followed you yet? Because obviously they should. Hi, everybody. We've been up to a hot mess this evening. I don't know if you can see this. We just took this out of the oven like 30 seconds before Sultry arrived. And the rest of y'all, hi. Hi. That is a vegan mac and cheese. You might be able to tell, but we finished baking it. It didn't start out that way. We boiled the nudes, we made the sauce, we whipped up that sauce, we whisked the sauce. The sauce was mainly comprised of coconut milk and nutritional yeast and some other spices. Some flour to, thickening agent. We mixed the nudes together. We used a cavatappi pasta instead of macaroni noodle words. Combine those, threw them in the oven. It called for like a panko crumb or toasted bread topping, had neither. Improvised, used saltine crackers and some leftover cauliflower crackers, sea salt cauliflower crackers. Crunched those up, made our topping. There it is, fresh out of the oven. On your arrival, yes, you can have some. The last thing we're making is probably not as exciting, but another side. We're gonna make some Brussels sprouts roasted with Parmigiano Reggiano and balsamic vinaigrette. Balsamic vinegar, not vinaigrette, balsamic vinegar. EVOO and Parmigiano Reggiano. Which I am preparing now. Earlier, we also made some roasted, I'll just show you. We made some super buttery, super cinnamony, and extra, I say cinnamony? Cinnamon, butter, and brown sugar coated the fuck out of some acorn squash. It looked like this. There's our extra side, Tis the season. I also made some beans earlier today. I soaked some pintos overnight, and then after I made breakfast today, started, slow cooking some beans. When I came back from the arts festival, they were pretty well ready to go. Yes, you can see the beans. The beans been getting eaten. If you were following me on Threads today, you saw part of this getting made. There's damn beans, some pintos, some carrots, jalapeno, tomatoes, green chilies. You can just sub-rotel if you want to. A little bit of celery, rough chop, a red onion, white onion. And put a little brown sugar in there to offset the spice. Some cumin, a little bit of cumin in there. 6 cloves of garlic. Didn't get carried away with the veggie broth either, veggie stock rather. Then we're making beans, not bean soup. So easy to turn into soup. Heather, Strawberry Tea Honey fame, had submitted this vegan mac and cheese for us a while back, and it was so goddamn good I wanted to make it again. And so we have. The roasted Brussels sprouts I haven't made in a very long time. This is one of those things that I used to make, I don't know, at least weekly and kind of got burnt out on. Like a lot of foods. Eat until you acclimate, borderline become averse to them, and then avoid them for a long time, and then bring them back around like they're new again. Heather, thank you for the congratulations on my first stream. That means the world to me. You know, it feels a little clumsy and a little alien of an experience, but it checks a lot of social boxes here. What do we say, sultry? You're enough. And I'm happy to see the lot of you. You still could have rated anybody, and you chose me, little mama, and I am grateful for that. Y'all, how's the music sounding? I haven't even asked once this stream. Though usually, I don't know, y'all are pretty good about giving me feedback. Even though this is my first stream, I'm imagining y'all have given me feedback on that before. It could come up a little, it's drowning you out, but anything of the sort. Can't hear it at all. Music? Ooh, I'm not gonna use that one. Yeah, no, I'm going through all of this next, I'm going through this process in anticipation of my next steps of putting the Brussels sprouts on a nice tidy baking tray, only for me to suddenly realize, I don't know that I have anything ready and clean for them to cook on. Isn't that creating a predicament? I will figure that shit out right now. Ooh. Sorry for the bonk. Or am I? Some of y'all like a little bonk on your backside. That's okay. I don't like to be startled. Oh yeah, Sultry, did you ever try the Frosty app on mobile? I'm using it on my tablet right now, and I had to fuck with it a few times, but I modified the Frosty app to log in and modified where the chat presents. It lets you choose like the width, the height, the font. More or less when it goes into horizontal mode, if you're on like a tablet or a phone, you can choose like bottom, right, left. I've got it left. I've got it like taking up about half my screen. It is so easy on the eyes, like so much better than the doo-doo pie Twitch app. Late raid, Renegade Johnny, welcome in, partner. We treat it like Gandalf rules, you know? A wizard is never late. You arrive precisely when you mean to. And that's okay, I'm happy to have you around. Want to check some vegan mac and cheese? Because there's one of the things that we made tonight that just came out of the oven right around the time Sultry raided in. So we let that cool down for a moment before we, lest we scald the fuck out of our tongues. We don't really want to do that. But yeah, vegan mac and cheese. I made this before, courtesy of a recipe that Strawberry Tea Honey had shared with us a couple months back. Made me happy inside, decided to bring it back around again. I've got some roasted acorn squash over here that we covered all the way up multiple times with lots of butter. vegan butter. But butter, all the same, healthy butter. We hit it with some healthy butter. That's why we said vegan butter. Brown sugar and cinnamon. These will take you right to Yum Town. But yeah, acorn squash, I don't know if I said that specifically. Why am I having a hard time orienting with this camera? It's because it's inverted upside down and reversed. Okay. I've got some pinto beans back there. We are about to throw down some Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna toss these with some olive oil, a little bit of honey, and some balsamic vinegar. And then we're gonna eat them raw until we run out of Brussels sprouts. Get these with a little coarse black pepper. Ooh. Do I not have another one of these open? I don't guess I do. We'll probably need to add some more olive oil in here. We're just gonna do about a cup of the balsamic and give that a toss and see how they looking. I'm gonna give them a little heat too. I'm gonna toss in some red pepper flake. I think red pepper flake is one of those things that some cooks, chefs, what have you, will sneeze at because it doesn't seem like it's a fancy way to incorporate a little heat, but fuck presuppositions and being a little judgy bitches about it. Because you work with what you have, and for that matter, it is just as practical, just as valid of an ingredient to include as anything that you like, and that's the most important thing. But a little bit goes a long way. So we're gonna toss in some crushed red pepper flake to give a little heat with our acidity. And as for salt, I'm adding none with one exception. We're gonna toss in some Parmigiano Reggiano. So aged 24 months Parmigiano Reggiano, which is gonna give us a little extra protein, a little extra umami flavor, and sodium, which I probably say every other stream because I use this in a lot of recipes. And I've got a nice wedge of Parmigiano Reggiano in there that I could just grate in here, but what I'm using is Costco. Whenever we have the spoons to deal with going to Costco, has a wonderful, ready-to-go Parmigiano Reggiano shredded, and yeah. Wait, can you even see that? You can't see that. That's, I was facing the wrong camera. Ta-da! It's my first stream. Be gentle. I didn't add a lot of that, actually. And toss with tongs, yeah. All of those things I was mixing in and you couldn't see. You'll just have to imagine the ingredients there. All of those things I was mixing in and you couldn't even see them until now. After you admire my shoes and my crotch meat, there we go. There's a camera doing camera things. Do you want to be flipped? Is that what you prefer? Is that here? We'll just hover you directly over the goddamn bowl, and oh look, that works so much better when I take it over manually. Manual override. Flip that around. There we go. Taking everybody for a ride here. Yeah, that works. I'll improve the camera game one of these days. When we have the means to. It's an old Zoom webcam. What are you gonna do? All right, so we've got coarse fresh black pepper in here, EVOO, Maybe like 2 teaspoons of crushed red pepper flake, half a cup of shredded Parmigiano Reggiano, and some balsamic vinegar. With the balsamic, I would say add as much as you like. A lot of it's going to evaporate, but you kind of get that sweet, sharp acidity with it. All right, let's see if I can find a pan for these little mama gemmas after I take a swig of my pear cider. And I'm gonna locate probably the only pan that I have remaining to cook with. Look at all of that. That's gonna happen every time I open the oven now, isn't it? Yeah, there's some leftovers in there that are like actively burning. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna keep the fan on. There may be a little noise. Ooh, that's stout. We have a pan somewhere. That noise is gonna be killer, isn't it? I'm only gonna run that for a minute. Where would this pan be? It's not where I would usually put it. Which means it might be over here somewhere. Oh, I know. I'll put them on a plastic tray. That should be all right in the oven for, you know, about 30 seconds. Damn. I think the time has come for me to invest in some extra cookie sheets. We've got okay, I know we've got like a pizza pan somewhere. A pizza pan would be perfect for this. There we go. Okay, it's not quite a pizza pan, but it's exactly what I was looking for. Off. Fuck's sake, off. Okay, let's drizzle a little more olive oil on here. Everything looks so good, so good. I'm glad you think so. I am excited to eat it. The mac and cheese I can guarantee is good. The acorn squash I can guarantee is good. These will be eventually. I will share, if you're on Threads, Johnny, I share the recipes there. Or you're welcome to join the Discord. So I'll share all the recipes there too, if you want them. Actually, why am I being so gentle with this? Let's drop these down and give them a flip. I don't have to be so cautious with putting these on the pan. I don't always cook vegan. We don't always eat vegan. It just seems like more often than not, 3/4 of what I make on stream ends up being vegan. We try to keep a diet, you know, heart healthy as possible because we've moved in my mother here in recent weeks, and with some sensitivities to her dietary needs and our own, just kind of seemed like it behooved us in all parties to put a focus on being healthy as possible. You know, 1 bag of these was probably enough, but I'm gonna end up using this as a side for a few dishes anyways, so no problem. I'm gonna try to keep all of these kind of facing up. I'll go back and turn some of those by hand. Now, if I were operating at a pro level, I'd be a little too worried about crowding and like moisture and whatever else, but I'm not. This is amateur hour. Let's see. Kind of went a little generous with that pour on one area of the pan, so a small percentage of these Brussels sprouts will be quite a bit more tangy than the others, and that's okay. All right. Do we want to add a little honey to this? You can. Okay, we're gonna drop these in for 20 minutes. At about the 10-minute mark, we're just gonna give them a little jostle in the pan and make sure nothing's sticking, but should be pretty easy for the next step. Yeah, I've made these before and I haven't added honey. So I want to do honey on like half. Granted, I ought to have honeyed these before I put them in the pan, like try to toss the honey together here. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, and the way this is drizzling, we're gonna go ahead and hit everybody a little bit. Okay. Don't we love how we make changes on the fly? All right, let's set a timer for 20 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the fan on. This will be the last thing that we make tonight. Ain't they pretty? Just like the Lottias. Mmm. Little extra smoke coming out of the oven because some of the, well, some of this you can see on the edges of our pan did like cook over. Not a lot, like maybe 2 tablespoons in the bottom of my oven, so every time I open it, like that is coming out. I'm about ready to try that mac and cheese though. Excuse me, mac and cheese. Because that's what it is. I usually make so many messes on my streams. But you know, we're allowed to be vulnerable, have that humility. Deal with this camera every time. Every time. Okay. Vent off. I imagine that is a welcome reprieve. It was loud in my ears. I imagine the mic was picking up every goddamn bit of that. All right, some things I can start putting back, which is nice to help tidy up All right, smoked paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, cinnamon, all going home. Okay, onion. Garlic, cinnamon. Okay, that was over there. What am I missing? I'm missing one thing. Ah, okay. Okay, brown sugar goes away. Butter, Dijon, Parmigiano. Hey! The fuck? I didn't realize the, okay, I didn't realize it was that sensitive. I set the Parmesan jar like down on the side where you like get water and ice, and I accidentally triggered the ice maker. I didn't realize it had like a foot plate sensor in there too until now, and we've had this thing for like 3 years. Some tidy up has happened, some has not. Back to coffee? Why not? Yeah, I spilled a little bit of that. I don't know what to put all that acorn squash in. I love that mug. I wish the actual monsters were on, you know, the outward-facing side, because I don't grip my handle that way. But recently, a fellow streamer out in the community, Sunny Starblast, had done a smash or pass of all 1,000 plus every generation of Pokemon. I think we estimated he would smash less than 5% of the available 1,000 plus Pokemon. So of the 5% that remained smashable, we agreed on Gengar. Ghost type Pokemon know how to get it done. A nice balance of you know, ferocity with softness, fading to the ether when needed. A careful, not totally evil grin, and then of course a masterclass expected in the aftercare component of a proper session, which are skills that are very needed and lost on so many. Well, I thought I had a good container. Okay, I do have a good container for our acorn squash. I just need 4 more of them. So one problem with meal prep is having the available containers to house everything when it's said and done. 3 out of 4 for the acorn squash. We have these nice Snapware bowls. Second reference to Costco this stream, but also, I love these things. They're so versatile. And these little Snapware bowls, they're just fantastic for meal prep. They're even satisfying to like put the lids on, and nice little clicky, tactile, sensory snap. Kind of great. Ooh, sorry about the clang and bang there, y'all. I'm gonna get some of the gunk out of that pan that we had the acorn squash in so that I can put it in the dishwasher. I'm one of those who pre-rinses and pre-scrubs everything to the point where it's probably clean enough to just put back in the cupboard, but then, you know, we'll run it in the dishwasher anyway. Okay, that's enough clanging and banging for one interval. I think I want to try some of this mac and cheese. It's funny, I can hear a little bit of background audio on my other devices, and I notice like my voice isn't anywhere near as sharply picked up on my lav mic as like anything else I'm doing around me. Any clang pang, it's getting more than me. I don't know. It shouldn't be that funny. It kind of is. Let's get a little first class shot of our vegan mac and cheese here. And try a bite. I think it's time to try a bite of that. Let's drop that in, do one of these bowls. Let's get, ooh, that's nice. Now what I'm gonna put all this in, I'm not entirely sure yet. Yeah, that's all right. That's very all right. God, I need to make that at least once a month. I don't need to go that long without it again. Why did I wait so long for you? What's wrong with me? We struggle with organization and self-rejection. Oh, that's what's going on. Yeah. Get this under some actual light here. That might do me a solid. Okay. I think. There we go. I just realized out of all of this, I've been like snacking along the way. I had some of the beans that were ready when I got home from the arts festival. But it wasn't much, it was just like 4 or 5 bites. I really haven't had like dinner at this point. Let's eat some mac and cheese. The jalapeno that we minced into that kind of disappeared, but it's excellent. Improvising with I'm checking my hair here. I don't want that ended up in anything. Where we didn't have the panko crumbs or the proper bread to like toast, using the saltine crackers and the cauliflower like sea salt crackers, like crushing those up on the top, that worked out really well. I definitely recommend this pasta. Instead of using like a macaroni noodle, I mean, you're not gonna go wrong with like any noodle. You could put like linguine noodles in this and it would still fuck. But this cavatappi pasta specifically, cavatappi, a nice dummy thick macaroni noodle, macaroni style noodle, carries a lot of goodness in it. I think you can kind of see what's going on there. Now, earlier, I believe I mentioned needing to give those Brussels sprouts a jostle at about the 10-minute mark out of 20. That time has come. I'm also going to turn the fan back on momentarily because we've still got some shit in the bottom of the oven. Yes, literal shit. It's how I pre-treat every oven. Okay, those already look really good, and they already smell really good. They're not going to need much of anything from me. Really, all you need to do is move them around so they don't overstick to the pan. They're going to be a little sticky because we added honey. We added the balsamic vinegar is also going to caramelize a little bit. All right, before these go back in, I'll let you see how they're looking so far because they're already pretty close to done. Less than 10 minutes. I hear you, mama. Okay, fan off. And yeah, I think among the more important aspects of what we included in this recipe was the sensitivity of our cows out there in Streamland, Dreamland, or in some proximity to. Cows in the chat moo. Oh my god, the Cheems component of this mac could be used as a fucking dip. You totally substitute like nacho cheese with that and it's better. There's some jalapeno. There's some jalapeno in a bite. Yeah, Heather, when you made this last, did you include some jalapeno? Is that where you got it? You knew it was going to be extra good? Between this, the beans, and everything else I made, I'm at a point where I'm like, I kind of wish I'd made some jalapeno cornbread to go with everything. I can still make some tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be sitting pretty on foodstuffs for a few days. I'm gonna struggle to figure out how to get everything in the fridge, but you know, I've played enough Tetris, I think we can figure it out. Okay, so it looks like I need to run an ad again. It's going to be the last ad of the stream, so after I run a 3-minute ad, there'll be a brief interruption, 3 minutes, that'll give us another hour of playtime together, and we won't need the full hour next time for the next intervals. So do take caution. I am grateful for those who stick around through the ads. It does help. Every penny does, honestly. But some caution, if you do see ads, that's why I'm about to run them for 3 minutes at a time. In most situations where I'm in a desktop stream, we'll pause things, we'll suspend activity and break away for a minute. In this case, not so much, because we're already doing stuff, but I'll be right here. All right, 3 minutes of ads coming at you hot. We'll ride that wave. See you soon. Oh, I see. I just tapped into the playlist. It was on, now it's on, what is it? Lo-fi coffee, lo-fi hip hop. Time to relax. Study tunes while you work. That's a lot of tags to make sure people find that, not by accident. I'm taking it back though to vintage autumnal lo-fi. Cause it's so good. I'm also gonna use this opportunity to clean up this pool of, I don't know if anybody can see that back here, but there's some bullshit back here that I wanted to clean up for several minutes now. Yeah, back here, there's some overspill from moments earlier. That was a right proper boil over. We were getting our sauce ready. So lessons learned next time when I'm making this. Use the broadest glass dish that I have available for the mac and Cheems. And my other boiling pot for the sauce, because the sauce absolutely was at the brim, so I knew it was gonna boil over. Like I kind of expected there to be a mess. Which honestly, that type of predicting the outcome, or at least trying to anticipate the outcome, helped manage my frustration level a little bit. Ooh, it comes up real nice because it's properly clotted now. Comes up like a nice little sheet. Ew, ew. Alright, this is gonna take a few rounds, but it's already better than it was. The good news is we have like magic erasers and scrub daddies. We've got scrub daddies to help with this sort of thing. This rate, I may not need one. We're doing okay, I think. It already looks significantly better than it did. What are we doing ads? Ads finished, ads are done. We made it. I'm so proud of us. Thank y'all for writing those out. And in that interim, my timer did go off for the Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna leave them in there for just another 90 seconds or so to make sure they've learned their fucking lesson, the rascals. I'll turn this into a co-working stream if you need some parallel play to help facilitate whatever tasks you need here. Like I'll just clean, you work on your taxes, whatever you need here. All right. let's check on our Brussels sprouts. As soon as I remember how to glove up. I'm gonna turn the fan on the oven actually. But will also be the last time. We're gonna expect a little smoke because I've got some stuff on the bottom of the oven that I can't wait to clean up later when it's not 450 goddamn degrees. All right, watch my forearm. So hot the pan is warped. All right, let's turn the heat off. Give that thing a rest. And those look nice and crispy. They're gonna be extra dark. Maybe extra dark in some areas where the balsamic caramelized. So that's gonna be extra fun to clean up. Shake these around a little bit and let them cool off and try one. Yeah, it's got nice and extra. You can expect to lose. You can expect to lose the external most layer on a lot of these if they weren't flipped. They'll have a because of the balsamic and the Parmigiano and the black pepper and everything else and the honey. You're gonna have a nice semi-sweet balanced by some of the sharp acidity from the balsamic. We added some crushed red pepper flake in there to give it a little heat, so it's gonna be a nice bite. Now, if you're serving this for your friends and family who think that black pepper is too spicy, then don't include any of that. You're gonna be fine with just the oil and balsamic. All right, let's move that over. Maybe we can showcase a little of column A and B here. Yeah, mama. Here we go. We got a little bit of mac and cheese, a little bit of balsamic sprouts. I'm actually gonna get another bite of this mac and cheese for me. Daddy's hungry. Why don't we try two of these? Drop them in that bowl. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, those are gonna go in a different container. I don't know what yet. I'll figure it out after we raid. But I shouldn't have to wait that long to try it. We'll see. Really good, really hot. Yeah, those are just fine. Now, if you're not making these at all vegan, if you're to chop up, like, pick your favorite bacon. Do like a salt pork or an applewood smoke. Like a thicker cut bacon, take a couple slices of that and like finely chop it, sprinkle that around while you're cooking this. The fat from that bacon rendered in like cooking into the Brussels sprouts over time is gonna be just as amazing. It's gonna actually taste significantly better, but remember keeping things like relatively healthy around here. but an easy, super rich, taste enhancing additive that you can include next time if you're making this at home. Also, if you're doing that many Brussels sprouts, like separate them further, you're gonna get like a crispier Brussels sprout when you take it out. I do not recommend following my method of crowding that many together because they stay a little softer. If that's your preference, go for it. Make sure my oven's off. All my burners are off. Timers. Some things are put away, some things are partially cleaned. I don't have much ahead of me to put away. But that's it. That's what we've made. If we want to recap, we started with prepping we started off showing off them beans. Then we prepped and set our acorn squash. Well, we prepped and set our vegan mac and cheese. Then we did our Brussels sprouts. We're gonna be eating pretty for a few days, I reckon. I got enough to run to the neighbors. Or any one of you. If you want to come see. Speaking of come see, let's see who's out there in Streamland Dreamland that we want to go say hi to. We can take a quick peek. Got a rough idea where we can head. Oh, Saturday nights are great. Honestly, Saturday nights are great for raids. I mean, great in the sense of I'd be excited to bring us over to anybody's place on my hot list right now. But thus creates the, analysis paralysis on this end. Lots of good retro streamers out there. Let me see who's doing what, make sure nobody's gonna wrap up on us. And what did you know? This is the first cooking stream I've done in a while, and I still started this one late. I'm kind of proud of myself. I started this one about 30 minutes late, as opposed to the last one where I was like 3 hours late. My point is, we're finishing a cooking stream before 2 a.m. We're finishing a cooking stream before 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. for that matter. It's just after midnight in my neck of the woods. I'm so pleased, from my toes to my tits. But I'm struggling with choosing where to go. So many lovely humans out there that I admire and would welcome you being included in the presence of. I done good. Thank you, Explorer. And thank y'all for sticking around. As always, I genuinely wish you could try any of this. Close approximation as we can get. If you make any version of anything I've ever made, please let me know how it turned out, what changes you've made. You're like, hey, Hogue, I did this, but better, and here's how. And I want to, because then I'll make it again and I'll include your changes. But I'll take the credit. You know I'll give you credit. What are we feeling, y'all? We feeling some retro? I mean, we're always feeling retro, right? I think, generally speaking, we're almost always retro. Retro is fine to keep on the dopamine menu. I want to rate somebody new, but I struggle with doing that during times where I know that I have to wrap up and like tidy up here a little bit because I wouldn't be available to, be all chummy with them. So I'm probably going to keep it familiar and like kind of cognitively low effort and go with somebody that we've rated, one of a few familiars for us here. But who to go say hi to? Bum, ba-da, bum, bum, bum. Also, y'all, thank you. I know it's every time I do one of these, we end up, even if it's midnight, you know, by every reasonable account and most time zone, this is still late for everybody. In most cases, it's not going to be a school night or work night or whatever, but some of y'all do maintain much better than I do. Strict, healthy sleep-wake schedules, and you know, you're kicking it with us for a while. That makes me happy. Just bringing some vibes, you know. Thank you for the Cheems, Heather. I am enjoying this with, I think I'm gonna practice using a different topping every time just to see where we land, like when we find like the perfect stretch with like anything, but kind of the Goldilocks palette texture synthesis that we want for this. But I think I'm gonna change like the topping every time. I love the inclusion of the jalapenos. I'm glad you mentioned that. All right. Well, I know where I'm going to end up, and that's going to be in everybody's stream that I want to say hi to. Let's go say hi to Phenomenon, who I've kind of been spamming their food channel in their Discord with basically everything I've made lately, but it seems to be welcome and received. So we'll go that route. We're gonna say hi to Phenomenon. I see Danny's up, I see What's Her Face is up, I see Cube Dude is up, and Eternal Enigma is up, Ellie Beans is up, Nocturnal Hannah is up, all worthy of your time and attention and kicking it over at their place. If you're able to stick around for the raid, you have my gratitude. If, and I can't emphasize this enough, if you need to prioritize your needs, please do. I mean, if you need to pop off to bed with you, you need me to tuck you in, I got you. If you're able to stick around for the raid though, I'm gonna take us over to Finn's place. Finn is playing, I don't know if he's doing randomized, or he's doing a retro raffle night. Question of the night is, what makes you happy to watch a stream? It looks like he's doing a raffle tonight. We'll find out what that is. He is playing a PlayStation 1 version of a Star Wars game, and it looks like he's currently Plo Koon, I think is the character's name. Plo Koon, I forget. I'm more of a Trekkie, to be honest. I hold space in my heart for both, but my heart is very black, and well, more on that later. Let's go say hi to Finn. I can't close stream without corridors of time, and you know full fucking well that I can't. Sultry, thank you for bringing some extra company on over here. Always good to see you, Sister Sultry. It's so fluffy. Thank you, Fluff. My dear friend Fluff, thank you for bringing the crew on over here. And I hope the rest of you rascals who came in with the Fluff raid have found your way to Dreamland by now. And it's very late or very early morning in your neck of the woods. We do have some raid copy pasta if you got it in you, if you've got the chutzpah, the moxie, the wherewithal. I would love for you to copy and paste that verbiage. Brains that play together stay together. Use whatever emotes you have in your inventory, whatever sparks the most joy for you. They ain't gotta be mine, mama. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. We're gonna chat, we'll do a little mental health news. I think there's a new Hot Ones for us to watch with Peter Dinklage, and yeah, it's always Q&A. I'm usually AMA, whatever comes up for you. I'll expound as best I can, earnestly and authentically as possible. While still sprinkling in some silly bullshit, because that's a necessary ingredient for most things. And then we'll, of course, break Wind. I want to try to get as close as possible to being done with Wind Waker. So more of that, more sea shanties tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. I'll keep you posted. Let's go say hi to Finn. Let Finn know that brains that can play together stay together. Give him a follow. I reckon you like what you're gonna see. I take a lot of inspiration from him. I really admire the way that he keeps up with his chat. He tries to respond with everybody and gives them a commensurate response. If he doesn't understand, he's very good about staying curious and non-judgmental. And I think you'll see what I mean. If you stay in that stream more than 5 minutes, you'll see what I mean. It's just, it's a good space to be. I reckon you'll see that. Like that I've got this red copy pasta and I'm not even doing a great job trying to copy and paste it on my own. It's hard to do from my laptop. I didn't find an easier way to make that accommodate myself is the verbiage we throw around so often. But I got it? I think I got it. I got it. Okay, let's go see Fen. I will see y'all tomorrow and there and probably Danny's stream. And wherever else. I'll see you again soon. Kisses, hugs, and belly rubs.